This is a great comment that also goes in step with my Euphrates video. And he said, and what would you say about the Prophet Muhammad prophecy about the Gulf Desert becoming green again and rivers, which is happening now? As I'm going to answer to this other guy with a comment on the same video, I'd rather study nature than study your books. Because when you study nature, long form nature, you come to realize that all these things are cyclic. 11,000 to 5,000 years ago, the Sahara Desert was green. There's this thing called the Great Year. It is the wobble of the earth as the sun goes through each of the zodiacs. And half of the time that the sun is going through this wobble, half of the time through this wobble of the earth, which takes about 26,000 years, the Sahara Desert is green. The Sahara Desert is a desert. It is a cycle of nature that happens over a 26,000 year period, where half the time it's a desert and the other half is all luscious and green. So with the Sahara beginning to start show signs of going back to being green again, it's just a sign of nature proceeding the same way it's been proceeding for longer than any of us will ever know and can remember, and for anyone to write down. Maybe your prophecy of Muhammad, this prophecy of Muhammad, comes from the fact that he knew at one point that Sahara was green, that the Levant was green, and that it will happen again. And if I want to make a prophecy of something that's going to come true, and I've already seen it happen before I came along, then I will make that prophecy to say that exact same thing. Just as right now we know that we have had major world wars in our modern understanding of life. It is easily predictable that there will be another major world war. Just as we've seen that earthquakes happen along fault lines, we can predict that California may fall into the sea one day, that tsunamis will sweep over the Asian islands. We can make all these claims because we've seen them before. We've seen fires burn down entire cities. We've seen meteorites fall from the heaven and destroy great cities. It is predictable in prophecy, as you would call them, to say that these things will happen again. Oh yes, there is one about wormwood, an asteroid falling down for wormwood, causing a cataclysmic event, which we've already know has happened before in the Earth's history. So is it prophecy, or is it just knowing what nature does and nature repeating itself? That's what it is.